It is Tuesday, October 7th, and it is time to get in the weeds. I'm Jeremy Lambert. That is SP3, and we have a decision to make today. SP3. Do we go past 12 o'clock today, which we do most days anyway, but do we go past 12 o'clock today to see what LeBron James' decision part 2 is, where he announces the latest DraftKings promo with Kevin Hart, I assume?
Well, I don't know about you, but I'm very excited for today. This is the biggest decision that I think has ever been made in sports history. Bump what happened in 2010. This is bigger. There's a video on it on social media. It's got over 1 million replies and reactions to it. I think that the hype is at an all-time high, and everybody is anticipating what LeBron is going to say today. I don't think that anything that LeBron has said over the course of the last 25 years is more important than his decision today. So I'm looking forward to the day. And I hope that all of you are, spending this day with someone special, because you're going to remember this day for the rest of your life.
We will go past 12, everybody. We will watch the LeBron James decision part 2 as a family and, as friends here. We're 2 weeks away from the NBA season, and LeBron decided, what can we do to get the attention on me? And I assume, what's your best guess, SV3? Amazon Prime stuff? That's what everyone seems to be saying. You think it's
LeBron sneakers are going to be starting to sell on Amazon Prime. Huge news.
Oh, okay.
Huge news.
What if it's a Space Jam 3?
Oh, holy no. No, don't do that to us. Don't do it to us, LeBron. Or the shop. The shop is coming to Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay. All right. That could be it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect this to be some retirement tour. I really don't. I know a lot of people are speculating that.
Imagine if it was. That would be the shocker. That would be the biggest shocker, despite all the people that are like speculating on it. If that's actually true, that he's making his retirement announcement in this way, that'd be shocking.
Yeah, him just doing it at 12 o'clock on a Tuesday. It's just some video, but it is what it is on that. I don't think it's going to be that. We shall see what it is, but yeah, and we're gonna stay on till 12. So I'm not saying it would be completely out of the blue if it is the retirement thing, because it's 2 weeks before the season. Not that the hype for the season has like died down or anything, but it's like, oh, okay, let's get through preseason and stuff. LeBron always wants the attention on him. And this is a great way to get the attention on him 2 weeks before the season. And it's like, oh, how can we make this season about me? Well, I know if this is my retirement tour, then this is definitely about
it's all about me.
Yeah.
He was
and
like,
doing it.
He talked to Cena. He was like, can the year be about me, even if I'm not that good? He was like, bro, I've been the biggest star in WWE, and I've been trash most of the year. Don't worry, retirement tour is the way.
Yeah, and doing it like again, just 2 weeks before on a random Tuesday, I could see LeBron doing it in this fashion. I could also see him doing it in a fashion of he needs to do it like in the summer, and so there's the build up and the anticipation, so there's more hype around it. It's LeBron. Whatever gets the most attention on him, he wants to do it in that way. But he's always going to get the attention. It doesn't matter how he does it. He could do it in the middle of the season, and he'll get the attention.
It's going to be an announcement that he's retiring in the 2026-2027 season.
Oh,
he's announcing it now that he's having a 2-year retirement tour. Because every other basketball player has announced when they're like the season before they retire, they announce that it's going to be their final season. LeBron James is so much of a GOAT. He announces 2 years before. He's like Hiroshi Tanahashi. He's like, I'm going to retire on this date, April 20th, 2027. that will be my final game.
And that might happen too. I think it's going to be Prime Day. My expectations are Prime Day. I'm not going, you know what I mean? I'm not going over the top of, oh, it's going to be a retirement announcement. What if he demands like a trade? What if that's the decision? I'm deciding.
Yo, that would be insane. I mean, he is the guy that announced where he was going in free agency through a special on ESPN. So it's not, it wouldn't be that surprising if he announces that I'm requesting a trade on a video special.
He posts a teaser to request a trade. That would be amazing.
It was like this a new level of how low LeBron James could go.
You got to post a hype video to request a trade. He needs to do a video
decision.
He needs to do a video package so everyone knows like his history of changing teams and everything. He's like, I've never been traded. I've always picked my teams through free agency, but now I want to be traded.
And it's gonna have it's the needle drop is gonna be when you are with me, I'm free. And you just see LeBron slam dunk his first game, the slam dunk, and then it transforms in the air to him in a Lakers jersey, slam dunking it. So you see the maturation, and then it goes through highlight of the first Cleveland run and coming up short. And hello, my friend, we meet again. And it's him and Paul Pierce. Been a long time, West do we begin? Feels like forever. And it shows him in the conference finals against Paul Pierce and the Boston Celtics, and then with the Miami Heat beating the Boston Celtics. In my heart, memories. Oh, how quickly like it's. Yo, we need to get paid. This is a great idea. This is just we just need someone in the chat or Joe Pearl. We just need y'all to do the editing. We just came up with a perfect layout for this LeBron career retrospective by sacrifice.
Jose saying, I don't think the Lakers even know what the announcement is. It just raised the prices on the last home game as a guess. Did they raise the prices or did they, I think they do dynamic pricing. And so everyone just assumed like, oh, is it going to be his last game? And so they all just went to scoop up tickets immediately. Yeah. And that raised the prices. I mean, I think that's on fans for jumping to conclusions of.
Yeah. Making that assumption. Too much when it comes to assumptions.
Okay.
And nowadays, you're frozen.
Yeah, I could tell.
I just talk. I just in case I'm not frozen. I just learned to just talk.
I appreciate it. I don't know if they raise the prices or fans just jump to conclusions of like, oh, I gotta get tickets to the game in case that's what it is, which. I mean, it's a good move if that's what it is, but if it's not, then it's like, well, you just paid a bunch of money to go to a Utah Jazz and Los Angeles Lakers game. Here's the thing. I think, I don't know this for certain. Here's my conspiracy theory. If LeBron's going to do a retirement tour, he announces it before the season so he can get on the same page with the NBA as far as the schedule goes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The schedule.
Yeah. No, ticket prices not so much, but the schedule, because the ticket prices are going to go insane regardless. Last game against the Utah Jazz, LeBron doesn't want his last regular season.
He's like, so do I have? He's like, is it going to be home or is it going to be away? And they say away. He's like Madison Square Garden, the New York Knicks.
Yeah.
And then if it's a LeBron, home game, he's going to be like Steph Curry, the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah, LeBron wants that last game to be like in Cleveland or like you said, MSG, or a home game against KD or Steph or maybe Miami. So he's like, I can beat them one last time.
Or Cleveland. Coming to Los Angeles. It could be something like that.
Yeah, I think. And then, you want to get on the schedule with like the TNT schedule, or they're not on TNT anymore. The Amazon Prime schedule, the ABC schedule. You want to get
the whole Lakers season. If he retires with the Lakers, the whole Lakers season will probably be televised.
Yeah. And granted, you can flex into those games, I assume,
yeah,
throughout the season, like if he does announce this today. But I think if he's gonna do a retirement tour, he announces it early and gets on the same page with the schedule makers so he can get a Christmas Day game in Cleveland, like something like that. And make sure you're playing on MLK Day. Make sure you're playing on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. Make sure you're getting the Lakers already get these spots anyway for the most part, but now you really get them with LeBron
Yeah.
in his last season, and he gets to go to the places that he wants to go to.
Just talking about this, man, I don't know about you. It just made me feel old as hell because this is now the third generation of basketball that I'm seeing coming to an end with like LeBron, Steph, and KD finishing up their careers. They're like the defining faces of this like late 2000s into 2010s era of basketball. We saw the 2000s era end with like Kobe, Duncan, Shaq, Dirk all retiring. KG was another one that retired like a decade ago. Around that time, those were when all those guys left out. I became a basketball fan. I know you told me many times you were a basketball fan when you were a kid. We saw that 90s generation end off as well, like with Jordan, with Patrick Ewing, with Scottie Pippen, with Charles Barkley, Hakeem Olajuwon. So like this makes me feel old just talking about LeBron James finishing up his career. And that's not even talking about like wrestling where we're seeing John Cena and Hiroshi Tanahashi. Like John Cena, I remember being in high school when he first debuted in pro wrestling. I had a whole beef at my high school in freshman year because I was the big LeBron fan. And because I grew up in a New York City high school, all the rest of my friends that watched basketball, that played basketball with me, were Carmelo Anthony fans because he's from New York, he's from Brooklyn. He won the NCAA championship with Syracuse, a New York team. All my friends were into them. I was like, man, the high school kid's better. I was like, LeBron, Carmelo Anthony. Did I have to get his games? Did I have to have a legal cable to see his pay-per-view games when he was a junior in high school, like I did for LeBron James? Like I had been seeing LeBron when he was like 16, and I was a huge fan of him. So it's kind of crazy how much our relationship or my relationship with him, as far as like fandom and whatnot, has changed over the course of the last 22 years. It's crazy.
It is insane that like all these guys who have been drafted after him have like retired. So when I play NBA 2K, when I play 2K, I do random draft years. Like I do current year roster, and then because they have the previous draft years on there, I just do like a random year. So it could be 1990, it could be 2001. But the latest year that I stop at is basically who's still in the league. And so I always have to be my last stopping year is like 2002 because LeBron is still in the league. And then like LeBron retires after the first season in the game. And so then I go from like, oh, my last year to do the draft is like 2002 to all the way to like 2008 because everybody from 03 to 008 have also retired. It's like, yeah, LeBron is outlasted dudes who got drafted like 6 years after him because he's still going. He's still playing at a high level. It's amazing.
Even like KD, like KD, what was he? He was drafted in 07. And
yeah, KD's like the
everyone that was around him is like basically retired.
Yeah, they're still going, and it is coming to an end. Their era is about to wrap here in the next couple of years, and then we'll get the era of, well, we're kind of in it now with Shea, Jokic, Luka, Giannis, and get to witness these guys make their stamp on the game. So
who do you think is going to be the Mount Rushmore of this era?
I think I just named them, honestly.
What, Wemby?
Oh, Wemby. Okay, yeah.
I'm talking about this era.
Okay.
Like that, like we said, this and pretty much we know, like the 2010s or late 2000s era. It's LeBron, it's KD, it's Steph, and then you can throw in. I think everybody has like a different name that they would mention for the fourth spot. I think that I'm not gonna let the 2020s decade take away from him. I would say Kawhi Leonard is the fourth face on that Mount Rushmore for the 2010s.
Okay. All right. For this current era, I mean, yeah, probably Wimby. I think Shea's gonna be there, honestly.
I'd say
And
it's Wemby, Shea, Luca, Ant-Man.
wow, over Jokic?
You're right. Yeah, Jokic. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Jokic over Luca. Yeah,
yeah. I think Jokic is gonna be there. I mean, look, Luka's
yeah.
great. He hasn't done anything yet. He's made one finals.
Giannis.
Giannis, yeah, it's another one. Like,
Like Ant might have to earn his spot. Yeah, it's gonna be
yeah,
Giannis instead of Ant. So I'll put Shea, Jokic, Giannis, and I'm not putting Wemby. I'm putting Ant. I feel like Ant has made more of an impact than Wemby so
yeah,
far.
but oh, sure, so
I know, I know,
far,
I
but
know
I
what's gonna
mean,
happen. We don't know what's gonna happen the next 5 years. We don't know about his health, Wemby wise. I think that he probably will be by the end of it. But I'd say right now, if I had to grade it, I would put Giannis in there over Wemby.
for right now, yes. When I'm looking 10 years into the future, I'd be surprised if Wemby is not
Yeah,
there. Like something has to go. It has to be health wise. Something has to go horribly wrong if Wemby's not there because that dude's good.
yeah.
Very scared for the Western Conference in these next. Yeah, that's why I'm glad OKC won their title last year because Wemby is coming, and I'm like, oh boy, who's dealing with this dude? What are you supposed to do
Scary.
with this guy?
It's gonna be scary. And Jose saying in the chat, Giannis is more of a 2010s era guy. He was drafted in 2013, but he's a late bloomer. So he doesn't start to
Yeah, he
become
won
the
his.
superstar that he became until the late 2010s, to like the 2018 2019 season. So all of his superstar years are in the 2020s.
Yeah, I mean, he won his title in the 2020s, so I'd put him more in the 2020s. Day Park saying, could LeBron be the first player with the statue for multiple teams? I don't think he's gonna get one in Miami because Miami and him got kind of bad history. Um, Cleveland, yes. The Lakers, probably not.
No.
I mean, he's been there for a while. Like it is kind of amazing that the
This is
Lakers
his
is his longest
longest
tenure. Yeah,
tenure. That's crazy.
yeah, that is insane. But I don't think anybody looks at him as like a Laker great, and maybe they should. But one title, I think that's a knock against him. He's only one title where Magic, Kobe, Shaq, Will, all these guys won multiple titles, and LeBron only has one. Cleveland is Cleveland. They ain't building if they ain't building a statue for LeBron, they ain't building a statue for anybody. But he brought a title to Cleveland, so I think he's definitely there in Cleveland. But I don't think he gets one for the Lakers and Miami. Like you can kind of say he deserves it, but again, the history that they have and they got one for Wade. Maybe they do one for LeBron just to make up for that awful ass Wade statue.
Might as well.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't know if I think he only gets the one in Cleveland, honestly.
Sure.
That's
Yeah,
all
I think Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland. He definitely deserves one. He should be the first one, for sure. There. So we'll see what happens when he finally does have end his career, which won't be announced today, most likely.
Yeah, today's Amazon Prime Day. Go get your deals on Amazon Prime. If you're here, we're 20 minutes in. Leave a thumbs up on the video. Get your super chats in. Get your question, comment, statement read on the air. But as everyone knows, we interact with the chat, whether you leave a super chat or not. The super chats are mainly just to support people like SP3 and Joel and myself. No fireworks because I'm talking. There we go. All right, they're to support everybody on this channel. Subscribe to the channel if you've not. For people who have been asking, because I get a lot of messages about this, the audio, I apologize. We're still trying to switch these platforms over to Simplecast. It's been a hassle. We do not have an audio feed yet. We are working on that, and hopefully we can get there. Sean mentioned to me last night that it was fixed, and then I tried to log in, and it was not fixed. So we're still dealing with that. Hopefully, again, we get there at some point. Yes, the super chats do help with the XP1. I saw Vala mention the cameo. Alvarez is still at $20. So we got to figure something else out for Brian Alvarez. Because we ain't spending $20 for a Brian Alvarez cameo. We gotta get him to drop that price back down to 10. And otherwise, we will get somebody else to do the cameo, and Alvarez's just infamy will live on for burying Zeno Hour. Well, I told you, it's $20. We ain't got that kind of money around here. I appreciate that you donate super chats all the time, Volub, but that your super chat still ain't enough to spend $20 a month on a Brian Alvarez cameo. All right. Yeah, Dijak, we might be able to do a Dijak cameo. Yeah, Dijak's 10. We will go to Dijak if Alvarez doesn't drop his price here shortly. We will do that. All right. Delayed Grats saying, I'll support you minus YouTube's 50% cuts. Tonight we get Dynamite or Dynalite, and LeBron deserves 4 statues. Where's the 4th one at? He gets 2 in Cleveland?
He gets 2 in Cleveland, 1 in Miami, 1 in Los Angeles. I don't know.
I mean, look, he probably deserves 2 in Cleveland, honestly. I wouldn't be mad at that.
He had 2 separate ones. He could do one with the headband and then one without.
Yeah, I could go 2. Yeah, high school. I mean, he's got a whole school here. He had a whole school. And for the people who have mentioned Snotty Drippin', aka, well, I don't even know. People know him by Snotty Drippin', not even his real name. I have messaged him on Twitter. Oh, you don't know about this? Okay, so you don't know who Snotty Drippin' is?
No.
Okay, he's on Twitter. That's his name on Twitter. Yeah. Snotty Drippin'. Fantastic name. And he's a what?
Okay.
He's a basketball guy. He does podcasting. Do you know the Meet Me in Temecula story?
Nope.
Oh, SP3. This is NBA Twitter like legend here with Meet Me in Temecula. All right.
I only deal with things that were like big in Black Twitter. Like if you said Montgomery Brawl, I would know what you're talking about. But
I mean, he is black. I feel like this is a Black Twitter thing as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's a Lakers hater.
It's a Laker hater? That's why I don't know.
He's a Russ fan.
Those people.
This was years ago. Years ago. Meet Me in Temecula.
I probably blocked him years ago then. So good.
He put out there that he's like, oh, if anybody wants to do a podcast, do an NBA season preview, hit me up. And we've been following each other for years, back when I was writing about the NBA for Fansided, because I wrote about the Thunder and just general NBA, and I think he liked some of my work. So we've been following each other for years. So I hit him up to be on the show in the next couple of weeks to preview the NBA season. So yes, well, I'm working on that. Everybody, I'm trying to get Snap.
Damn, I should have worn this shirt. I should have worn this shirt for then.
I mean, it'll be in a couple of weeks or maybe next week, so you'll have time. I assume you're gonna do laundry between now and next week. You have other Lakers gear anyway.
I got plenty of Lakers gear. So.
Yeah, I assume you have other Lakers gear, so you can wear some Lakers stuff when he comes on the show. So.
I'll wear my Lakers shirt for decision day, for good luck.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I wrote about the Thunder with their big 3. No, I wrote about the Thunder years ago. The Thunder big 3 I wrote about was Westbrook, George, and Carmelo. That was the big 3 of the Thunder I wrote about. I wrote about them years ago for
big 3 2.0.
Yeah, my work's still out there somewhere. If anybody wants to go find it, please don't. But it's there. No, my writing wasn't terrible. I had my wacky ideas that people still see today when it comes to wrestling. I booked a whole LeBron James and Draymond Green match for SummerSlam. That's one of my proudest works is setting up LeBron and Draymond for SummerSlam. So that's out there somewhere.
Very
people
nice.
Can just Google that. All right.
Top 3, Volub. He says, is the Montgomery Brawl still the biggest thing on Black Twitter? Top 3, in my opinion, of biggest things that's ever happened on Black Twitter: the Montgomery Brawl, Drake versus Kendrick, and the versus era.
Oh, the versus era was fun.
Yeah,
I remember that. I remember being on for that, and seeing everybody go back and forth with the tracks. That was a good time. Why'd they stop that?
It was.
Got too heated?
Because it was out of
Too
pandemic.
much money? Too much money.
Yeah.
I should have kept going.
I agree.
Going with that.
I agree.
Good stuff. Yeah. And we're not talking about that stuff, Richard. Just stop promoting that shit. Let's knock it off. All right, let's get into. We had another super chat from Volub. Actually, let me set this up. Where's the? There we go. Okay. Volub says, "Vanilla fumble."
I'm vanilla, baby.
Is what we call when my thumbnail suggestion got ignored. What was your suggestion? I assume the bareback rider with the cowboy guy who was on Raw. I don't know. I don't know who that was. I've never heard of him. He got no pop last night. I did see he was bareback rider. Sure. Was that your suggestion, Volub?
Bareback rider.
I don't know his name. They showed him on Raw.
Bareback rider. He's a world champion bareback rider.
His name was something. He had a name. It wasn't just bareback.
Yeah, it was
rider.
something Steiner.
Oh, is that what it was? Something Steiner?
Mm-hmm.
Braun Breaker should have speared him.
Word, he should have.
Yeah.
That would have been a nice cross promotional and everything would have worked well. Rocker Steiner. See, it was good.
All right, you know what? That's like a legitimate
wrestling
good name. Yeah.
That's a wrestler's name.
Yeah. Rocker Steiner. Yeah, the bareback rider. Yeah, that makes sense.
The bareback rider, Rocker Steiner.
That sounds like an NXT ass name right there. They're gonna try to sign him. Watch.
That's what they're gonna name the cousin. They're gonna name Braun's cousin that.
Yeah, Scott's son.
They're gonna name him Rocker Steiner.
Yeah, Rocker Steiner, the bareback rider. Yeah, they're gonna bring him into NXT, and that's the name they'll give him. I could see that 100%. Mm-hmm. Does he have that name trademarked, Rocker Steiner? That can't be his real name, right?
He better.
There's no way that's his real name.
I would doubt that legitimately.
Rocker Steiner.
I would legitimately be surprised if an actual mother named their child Rocker.
Names nowadays, I mean, are absurd though.
This is true. People are just naming anything nowadays, it seems like.
My wife came across this story that like someone gets paid like $20,000 to just go to somebody's home and like pick a baby name for them. Like, how do you get this job? This sounds amazing.
The hell? She just looks at them and be like,
Yeah, she just like goes to their home, sees their whole like vibe, and meets them and talks with them, and is like, "Your baby's name is Atticus." I'm like, "All right, sure, $20,000, please." Like, this sounds great. How do we do this?
I want that job. Give me that job, please.
So I need to get my wife to scam all these people with this. Just like, yeah, baby, just go to people's home, meet them for an hour, check out their whole flow at the house, and then come up with their name. You know, if they got like a bunch of like Cleveland gear and everything, like let's say they're like a big Browns fan, which would be very disappointing for them. Like, name the kid like Baker, like the one, you know, the quarterback that got away from the Browns. Your kid is gonna carry on the legacy, Baker. I feel like this would be a pretty like easy job for $20,000. Great.
I think I'm gonna look this up. I think I'm looking this up.
There you go, everybody. There's free work for everyone. Free business practices for everyone.
This kid, I'd see like this white kid, and I'd be like, this kid looks like a Jamal.
Jamal?
Just mess up everything. I'm
Don't get these kids beat up.
What? His name is Jamal? He gonna get beat up for his name being Jamal?
So you're gonna name some kids like Gwyneth Paltrow named her kid like Apple. I was like, oh man, that kid's gonna get. Fortunately, like, you're a celebrity, so you'll be fine. But like, you name a normal kid like Apple, that kid's getting bullied in school. I'm sorry. He's
Michael
getting.
Jackson name his son Blanket?
Well, yeah, But again, the celebrities get away with that stuff.
That is true.
You know, because it's like, who's gonna bully? Oh, it's Michael Jackson kid. He's gonna be in private school anyway, so, or homeschooled. You know what I mean? But yeah, you try to name a normal kid with that stuff, you're 100% getting bullied with there. Jason Lee named one of his kids Pilot Inspector with a K.
Just calls them PI.
PI. It's Pilot. Oh man.
What up, Pilot? That doesn't even sound normal. Like, what?
These names are absurd. How do you like figure this out? What if that kid's not a pilot inspector? His name's Pilot Inspector, and you gotta like, he's just a pharmacist, you know?
It's like, I went into the phone book and I looked up a pilot inspector to check my helicraft, and I called you to come down here, and you're not a pilot inspector. He's like, I am Pilot Inspector. Like, that's my name. Like, I know that's your name. I looked you up in the phone book and looked up somebody, but you're not able to check my helicopter here. It's just a whole back and forth. You're just setting them up for failure.
What's the there's a bit, maybe it's The Simpsons, or it's something, but they have their name with like, it starts with like 3 A's, so they're listed first in the phone book. That's what I'm gonna do with naming these kids. I'm gonna just name like Adam with 3 A's is gonna be your name. So you're always first in the phone book.
That's hilarious. My missus would probably be first in the phone book.
See, I got Adam.
2 A's.
Her name's 2 A's.
Her first name starts with 2 A's.
Okay, so I'm going 3 A's.
You're up in the ante here.
Yeah, Adam with 3 A's. And then like the next people I go to, I'm gonna name them Adam with 4 A's. And then so the whole phone book is just Adam with starting with multiple A's.
It's just all you're really doing is just doing the Roderick Strong. Adam. Adam.
People are like, I need to call Adam. Is that Adam with 6 A's or 7 A's?
Just do a long one. Just put like 10 A's, and they just gotta go Adam.
Yeah, that's gonna be my bit when I name these kids.
How many A's can I get at the front of this name?
All right. WWE Raw allegedly happened last night.
How do you transition that?
No. Just go on, just make the transition from
Shouldn't we talk about the thumbnail? Shouldn't we talk about the thumbnail first?
Fine. You want to talk about the thumbnail first?
Talk about the thumbnail first.
Fine. All right. Santos Escobar has left WWE. He was a free agent as of midnight last night or this morning, depending on how you tell time. WWE sources, this is from Fightful Select. WWE sources say that Santos' deal will be up at midnight. The company has made attempts to re-sign him, but he passed on the offers. Apparently, he was offered more money or similar money as before, but he wanted creative, essentially. He wanted to kind of have an idea of what he was going to do because, as we have seen with Santos over the past few months, he has not done anything. And as we've seen with Santos over the past few years, he kind of just does something for a month or two and then does nothing as off television with Legado del Fantasma. He wanted a more concrete plan with what his plans were going to be. They could not give that to them because they don't give plans to anybody. And he was like, all right, well, that doesn't work for me, brother. And now he is a free agent. What do you think of Santos moving on?
This isn't surprising. I think that it's been telling his social media activity. Of course, most notably, him putting out that tweet following Andrade's debut at AEW was like the big indication that something was going on here. So, not that surprising that his contract came up so soon. I am surprised that he turned down what probably was a good money deal, but he cares more about what he's doing creatively. He wants to be fulfilled and used in a meaningful way, in a consistent way as well. And I think that the pro wrestling world has so much opportunity out there for someone who's as talented as Santos Escobar and who doesn't have kind of the dark cloud that follows Andrade after his departures from certain places. Santos Escobar was a model employee for WWE during his entire run. I really, most of us who are fans of his really became fans of his during his run in NXT. And I thought that he had one of the best introductions and in NXT at that time because of the whole plan that they had and the whole debut that they had with introducing him in his original form of El del Fantasma and then changing him into Santos Escobar. And once he took off the mask, I was like, why did this guy have a mask to begin with? This guy is gorgeous. Like he should have just been making money off of him in Mexico, like taking off his mask instead of keeping the mask on him to keep with the family lineage. But that's how Mexico works. But WWE was wise to take the mask off of him. I thought that initial introduction was really well done. I don't think they ever really fulfilled the potential of Santos Escobar, even at the NXT level, because of the way they introduced him and the run he had with the Cruiserweight Championship and the memorable moments and matches that he had with Legado del Fantasma over the next 2 years in NXT. That's a guy that should have been at least a North American champion, let alone he should have probably been challenging for the NXT championship. But I don't remember, other than a brief feud with Karrion Kross before Karrion Kross went for his second run as NXT champion. I don't remember Santos even getting close to the main event picture in NXT, and that feels like a missed opportunity. When they brought him to the main roster, I thought they very quickly did not know what they had here, and he came up in a kind of the transition period of going from Vince to Triple H in charge now, and he made the transition of pairing Legado up with Rey Mysterio and bringing in LWO. But LWO initially felt hot during that whole rivalry of Rey and Dominic and them feuding with the Judgment Day, and they were selling t-shirts like gangbusters, but it was quite obvious this was just a nostalgia pull to make some money by WWE, and they had no intention of elevating anyone in Legado del Fantasma, let alone Santos Escobar. We did get a light at the end of the tunnel when he turned on Rey in 2023, but that push lasted about a month, and then they completely dropped the ball on it. And Santos was pretty much not as over as he was initially as a heel by the time we get to WrestleMania and he teams with Dom against Andrade and Rey Mysterio, where he's probably like the fourth most important guy in that whole matchup. And then after WrestleMania 40, don't get me started, he's been booked horribly the last 18 months. Like the last 18 months, if it's not him against LA Knight, I don't remember what he did. Yeah. But outside of like the Lucha Libre AAA events, where I was surprised when they got a win at the first Worlds Collide, because I was like, you guys never win anything. When you're on TV, you're here to lose. That is what Santos Escobar and Legado del Fantasma had been booked to become and perceived by the fans. So it really feels like it was a whole entire run. And I just talked about 5 years of him in WWE in like less than 5 minutes. That's an issue for someone as talented as Santos Escobar. He should have been doing a lot more, and it just feels like a total missed opportunity from NXT run to main roster run for him.
The fact that they had no real, I mean, they haven't had plans with him for a while, but them having no plans after the heel turn, and you mentioned it, he came off as the fourth most important person in that tag team match. Like that heel turn was very hot and should have led to something bigger. And it didn't, because they've dropped the ball on a lot of heel turns over the years, as we've seen. And Santos was one of them. He should have been a bigger player. I don't know why he wasn't. Outside of, they've never been good at cultivating the next Mexican star.
No.
Never. It's always been,
Never.
the next Rey Mysterio, the next Rey, and then they've done actually nothing to build up the next Rey Mysterio because they still have Rey Mysterio, and that's the problem.
Because what a lot of people don't mention, Jeremy, about all of this when WWE talks about this. They didn't do Rey Mysterio very well at all either. Like when your whole basis of we need the next Rey Mysterio, you're saying it as if you actually did a great job of building up Rey Mysterio and making him a star. Rey Mysterio is a star in pro wrestling despite how WWE booked him sometimes. Like, that is the issue, I think, in general, with the whole misconception of we need to find the next Rey Mysterio. We need to find the next Latin star. You need to book him like Eddie Guerrero, not Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, when they brought in Rey, like, it was hot because Rey was hot, but, you know, he only got the title, unfortunately, because Eddie passed. And then they've treated him as a big deal throughout the years. I mean, now with the longevity and everything, he is a legend, and, you know, they call him the greatest mask of all time and everything. But because they still have Rey, it doesn't feel like they are in any type of real rush to get the next Rey. And it's going to end up being Dominic anyway, because Dominic is at that level at this point. But for years, I mean, how many people have they tried this with over the years of, we got the next Rey, we got the next big Mexican superstar.
Patron.
Yep.
Andrade.
Yep.
Santos Escobar. I'm missing some of the in-betweens, but those are the major ones. Those are the big three.
You could throw in like a Dragon Lee and people
Dragon
like
Lee,
that.
which they did horrible with him.
Yeah,
trying to think who else.
They tried this with a lot of people.
Mystico, Sin Cara.
Sin Cara,
yeah. Kalisto.
Yep. Yeah, they try this with a lot of people, and they can never get it right, because what makes Rey great is that he kind of built his reputation elsewhere. Yeah. And he was already a legend coming in from WCW. He already had, he was a big deal coming from WCW. And I think that time period between WCW and WWE actually helped his stock with everything. And then so they treated him like a big deal. And then when he was part of SmackDown, he came off like a big deal. But they don't know how to, like you said, they didn't book Rey great. It's just people loved Rey because they loved Rey. And they just think that, they're going to love this person now, no matter what we do with them. It's like, no, you've actually got to, do something with them.
I think
you can't do the stop and start stuff.
I think it also comes down to WWE not remembering what got Rey over the way that he did. Like, a lot of it was he was over despite what WWE is doing. But when he first comes into the company, they had him working with someone he knew very well in Chavo Guerrero, was his debut matchup. But his first main feud, his first pay-per-view matchup is against Kurt Angle, Olympic gold medalist. Then they put him in the mix with the SmackDown 6, where he's working with Kurt, with Chavo, with Eddie Guerrero, with Chris Benoit, with Edge. He's having stellar matches with those guys for the next 6 months. Then you go into 2003, he's in the Cruiserweight division, and he's really the centerpiece of the Cruiserweight division. He's the main star. Like, Matt Hardy was the main heel, and it built up to him beating him for the title. But then after he wins the title, he's like the centerpiece of everything that is the SmackDown Cruiserweight division. And he's able to have good to great matches with the likes of Billy Kidman and Matt Hardy and Tajiri and whoever they put him in the ring with, he was able to show out. Then from there, he got into teaming up with Eddie Guerrero towards the end of 2004, and then the Eddie Guerrero rivalry in 2005. They always put him in a position where he either had a title, had a story, or was working with one of the top workers or top stars in the promotion. Can we say that they did that with Andrade and Santos when they get called up to the main roster? Yes, they've had matches. Andrade got to face, Bryan Danielson in his first run. You have Santos. He got to work with Rey Mysterio in his first program on the main roster. But after those initial bright points, highlights, they usually are positioned at the bottom of the card, at the lower card, working with the lower card workers, which define them down, which makes it impossible to ever take them seriously of being a top star. Mind you, you don't have the best history with Hispanic stars in general, so it's going to take a lot for us to even take them seriously, mixing it up with the main event scene. But if you don't even try to put them in the main event scene, then it's just an endless loop of, okay, this one's the next Latino star. Oh, that didn't work. Oh, this one's the next Latino star. It's just an endless loop of what WWE's going through because they don't take the proper steps.
Santos could have been one of their top heels on SmackDown too. I truly believe that. He was a good talker. He obviously has a good look. He's obviously very good in the ring. After the Rey feud, he could have been one of their top heels. At least a guy that was consistently in the picture. I mean, I don't know if he's going to win the world title or anything. Why couldn't he have been the U.S. champion during that time? I know he had the feud with LA Knight. Why couldn't he have been the U.S. champion? Like, consistently in that picture. It feels like he could have, why couldn't he have been in effectively, and we know why, effectively the Solo Sikoa spot? Why couldn't he have been in that picture there? And they just, Triple H, he turns people heel and then he has no idea what to do with them as heels. And that's kind of been his MO in a lot of ways. But they didn't really give him a chance after the heel turn. And I don't blame him for not taking the money and wanting the creative. I've said this before because he's not the first instance to leave over, the money offer was good, but I want to know what I'm doing a little bit. These people are creative people. Pro wrestling is like one of the ultimate creative outlets because there are really no bounds with what you can do, whether it be in the ring, whether it be vignettes, whether it be promos, it's a whole canvas you can paint on. And a lot of these people get into wrestling because they are creative people and they don't have these limits and constrictions. So it shouldn't surprise anybody when these guys are like, I want to know what I'm doing creatively. I want to be able to tell my story and paint my picture and everything. And if you can't give me that, well, I'll go elsewhere to do that. Even if the money is good, I've made money. I mean, he's made money from WWE, and he can still get money elsewhere, whether it be the independents, whether it be another company, but maybe he can release his creative outlet a little bit more elsewhere. So it shouldn't shock anybody when these wrestlers are like, I want to go elsewhere to help with my creative juices because I'm a very creative person.
And I think it's also telling, and I think, Sean's tweet last night kind of indicated that we are seeing it more often now of these contract negotiations being that the performer feels that WWE is not giving them enough money. It's not substantial enough. And we had consecutive of this instance happening with Karrion Kross in August, Jasmine Nix last month, and now we got Santos Escobar. And what Sean said in his tweet is like, there may be more coming. So is this an indication of TKO kind of taking over with the business practices that we've been seeing in UFC now spilling over into the WWE of if you're not the top of the top performers, you're not going to be getting the amount of money that you feel like your spot on the card dictates. And it also is an indication to me, like you said, bringing up the creative side of things, is when Triple H first took over as head of creative, we heard a lot of the top stars like your Drew McIntyre, McIntyres, your CM Punks, your Roman Reigns. Talk about how there was some freedom now with the creative process, that they can put more of their input, that is more of a collaboration. I now kind of pay attention to the fact that all the instances that we had of those people saying that type of thing, it was only the top stars. It was never a guy on the level of a Santos Escobar. It's never a guy on the level of a Carmelo Hayes. It's never those guys that need that creative freedom to find a character, to find a connection with the fans, to build upon that and to build themselves and elevate up the card. Those are never the guys that are in these interviews that are saying, oh, now I have this creative freedom where I can find that connection. I can do the things that I have to. It's only the top stars. And now 3 years into this regime, we're starting to see like the kind of the consequence, the result of all of that. If you're not giving them the creative freedom, if you're not giving them the right amount of money, these people are going to choose to leave, because the wrestling world is a lot different than it was back in 2018, 2019.
There have been other stars of who have said there's been more creative in WWE with Triple H. Some lower people. I mean, Cross is a guy who has said like he had a little bit more creative freedom. He was allowed to do.
I know that was one of the only people I was thinking of, and he's not with the company, so I couldn't mention him.
Yeah, fair. People. I mean, I don't know how, if you want to quantify Bayley as a tip.
Bayley's a top star. She's not like a tippy top star, but she's definitely closer to the top than the lower card.
Oh, certainly. I mean, lower card is, lower card, they're never going to get all of that creative freedom. It doesn't matter where you're at, honestly. Like, the top people typically get the more creative freedom when it comes to that. I have heard Natalya is another one who says, Triple H, there's a little bit more creative freedom with this. And then, again, you look at the example. I get it. Natalya says it, and then she wants to do Natty Neidhart and isn't allowed to do Natty Neidhart. Yes, no, I get it.
It's like you're naming examples of people that are not given the creative. They will say it. They can say it all fine and dandy, but we're not seeing any examples of that at all.
No, I 100% agree with you that there's, just because they say it feels like they're saying it to basically be like, oh yeah, we do, Triple H does listen to us, but then we actually don't get to do those ideas on television. When it comes to somebody like Escobar and guys on his level, those guys have never gotten the sort of creative freedom because they are at that level. It always is that the top guys get the more leeway when it comes to that stuff. We get to the lower card, mid card people. Maybe they get to pitch different things. Chelsea is another example. Chelsea gets a lot of stuff through and has talked about, she has more creative freedom and everything. But at the end of the day, if Triple H or the booking team, the 800 writers they have, don't want to do anything with you, it doesn't matter how much creative freedom you actually have or think you have. If they don't want to put you on the show, they're not going to put you on the show. That's just how it works. It doesn't matter how much stuff you're pitching. If they don't have a spot to use you at, they're not going to use you. And that's where they're at with Santos. They didn't see anything where they felt they felt they had a spot for him. And should they have? Yes, but they didn't. And so they didn't use him, though, because
he checks all the boxes.
He does.
You would want from a top Latino star. The top Latino star, you want him to be good looking. He checks that box. You want him to have a good look. He checks that box. You want him to be a great in-ring worker who can work as both a babyface and a heel. He could do that. He want him to be good at talking and not have the heavy accent that such stars as Alberto or Andrade have had in the past. He doesn't have that. He speaks better than any Latino star that I think I've seen in WWE. He could be the leader of a faction. He could be a top main event star. He has that type of look to him. He checked every box. Maybe his height didn't check or clear that box for WWE standards, but when it came to everything else that you would look from a top guy, a main event star, Santos checked it, and the fact that it ends in this fashion, I think is another hit to the fan perception of WWE right now.
Yeah. Like, I don't know how you don't have a spot for Santos Escobar. I really don't. Because as you mentioned, he checks a lot of different boxes, and he checks boxes that this is no knock on Karrion Kross, who got himself over and did well in the vignettes and everything. Escobar's better in the ring than Kross, and he has the intangible of being a Mexican star, which you would think you would want to get out there a little bit more. But I mean, look who this company's associated with at the top, so maybe they don't want to do that. You know, he has something different than Karrion Kross. Not a knock on Kross. Kross is a white dude. They got plenty of white dudes out there.
Well, Kross Puerto Rican, so
okay. Fair. You know, like you would think somebody like Escobar would be someone you want to put out there and promote, and they just didn't. But they do this with a lot of people. They do this with a ton of people, and it's not a surprise that people want to leave. I mean, I know Sean mentioned Kross, Jasmine, and Escobar leaving. They all left for different reasons. I don't think that it's fair to, and I don't think Sean was doing this, to quantify of like, oh, it was all money related, because it wasn't. It's literally all of them were different reasons than money. Kross said he wanted to stay. Kross has made it very clear he wanted to stay. The problem is he wanted to at least negotiate a little.
He wanted to get an evaluation on the amount that they were offering him, and they were like, nope, it's first come, first serve, and basically pulled the offer. Jasmine Nix was getting offered.
That was money related.
Yeah, she was getting offered what a postman makes in the mail store near me, to be a WWE superstar. Basically, that was money related. And then Santos Escobar, it was more about what they were going to do with him creatively, because they were offering him the same amount of money that he would have been happy to take.
Yeah, so it's different reasons that these people are leaving, and yeah, we shouldn't quantify it as just money. And look, it might be other people might be leaving soon. I know Sean has hinted at it with other people potentially leaving. We'll find out more and why they might be leaving when and if that time comes. But it's not always money related, and I don't think everybody should think that it's always money related, because as I was saying, like, these people are creative people. They want to know sort of what the creative is, and can they put that out there to the world? Can they paint their picture? And if they can't, then they can go elsewhere to do that, where they will have the creative freedom. I think Santos will have plenty of options. You know, maybe he goes back to Mexico. I think AEW would be smart to get him up. I assume he just joins the Don Callis family, because Don Callis signs everybody.
Because why not? Because that's the gimmick now. Just sign everybody. If you sign Andrade, might as well sign Santos. I made the comparison, though. They are just building a basketball team. That's all they're doing.
It's a football team at this point.
No, it's a basketball team, because they have plenty of people on IR. So it's basketball team. We got 9 active. I already played. I tweeted it out and everything. They needed a all-star point guard, so that's why they signed Andrade. Andrade is the point guard. 2 guard, because he feels like more of a wing player, is Kyle Fletcher. The three, the wing player, LeBron James type, that's Konosuke Takeshita, of course. Then you can the front court you can kind of play around with. If you want the size, of course, you would put like Lance Archer at the 5 and maybe Okada at the 4. But if you want to play small, if you want to play small ball and run up the court, run up the score, you could put Okada at the 5. I think Okada, he's got the wingspan. He could guard some of these centers in the paint, and he could pull them. He could stretch the floor and hit some threes from the outside at the 5 position, and put your PJ Tucker like power forward in Josh Alexander at the 4, and he'll get some rebounds, get some scores inside. So. And then you got coming off the bench, 6 man, you got Hechicero, because he can guard all 5 positions. Imagine Kyrie trying to cross him up, and he just like this. Kyrie all confused, like, I thought the earth was flat. It's going round and round. Then you got El Clone, he could be backup 2. You got Rocky Romero, he's the Derek Fisher type, backup 1. And then you got Lance Archer off the bench, backup center. So
yeah,
those are the active, because Trent is TBD. Trent is to be announced. Trent's
coming back. Yeah, Trent's coming back.
He's coming back, but he's TBD. He's TBD for tonight's game. It's Title Tuesday. It's tonight's game. He's TBD for tonight's game. On the IR, you got Brian Cage, you got Mark Davis, and you got Wardlow.
Yeah, they're missing their front court. And their whole front court's on the IR.
That's why they gotta play small ball. That's why they gotta play Okada at 6'4" at the center position, because they got no centers. They got Lance Archer, but they want to run up the score a little bit before they put him.
They should make a trade for. I mean, they had this guy and they let him go. They should get Hobbs back. Hobbs, they get bully ball Hobbs in there. Yeah, then it's a team. Man.
Then you put Josh off the bench. Josh would be a great bench guy. You put Powerhouse Hobbs at the 4 or at the 5. Oh, it's a wrap. He's bullying everybody.
Although LeBron thing has leaked.
It's leaked? Oh no!
It's leaked. The decision has been made. Cheers to year 23. LeBron James and Hennessy. LeBron James says, "Go get drunk, bitches."
So we don't have to stay on?
All of this for some Hennessy.
And he got him twisted. Oh my God, that's hilarious. So Bleacher Report spoiled it?
No, Hennessy, I mean, maybe Bleacher Report did, but Hennessy posted the video.
Not like, but Bleacher Report also put out their own tweet. It's like, breaking: LeBron James is not retiring from the NBA. Rumors began to circulate after James posted a video titled "The Second Decision," but it turned out to be an ad for Hennessy.
Yeah. Well, Hennessy, again, the official Twitter account for Hennessy at 10:30 posted the video. So
you want to watch it?
I think Hennessy actually spoiled it over Bleacher Report. Yeah. Do we all want to watch this as a family here? All right, go to the Hennessy Twitter.
All right,
it's there.
Hennessy Twitter.
All right.
We don't go off the alcohol.
Hennessy.
Vodka.
Out of everything.
On the Henny.
It's worse than Amazon Prime.
Got the blue top. Got me feeling dizzy. Got me on the hot. Oh, where's the Hennessy? Hennessy.
Oh, do I need to put this in the chat? I'll put it in the chat for everybody. Hold on. All right, there. I just posted it in the chat.
Oh, okay.
There
just
you go.
click on it in there.
Yeah, there's the Hennessy link for everybody. All right, we watching this. You got it pulled up.
I'm getting it now.
Okay.
There we go. How could they? They ruined this special day for all of us, and they just ruin it like this. This is outrageous. Okay. All right. So yeah, I have the video up. You ready?
All right. You ready? Yep. 3, 2,
2,
1,
1,
play.
go. Stupid. He's not a good actor.
No, not at all.
God damn, he looks old as fuck in the face now.
Hennessy
win more
VS
at
OP.
hosting. No. He wants to win at impressing gates. Win at making memories. This was awful. It's 1 minute. What the hell? It's 1 minute. It's 1 minute. Why would you hype this up?
That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing.
Why would you hype this up? What was the point of this? Why?
I mean, the point of it was to get attention on Hennessy. It works. It worked. I mean, the Lakers are probably like, thanks for, getting our $1,000 tickets up there now. We made a killing off of that stuff.
We made a killing off of your little teaser video. Oh, man,
It's a Hennessy announcement, everybody. The best part about this, at least Prime Day, everybody can use Prime.
Yeah.
18-year-olds can use Prime and stuff. I'm 18, LeBron fan. I can't even do anything with this. I can't drink Hennessy, at least legally. LeBron's selling some shit that I can't buy.
I mean,
legally, SP3. Let's not get people in trouble here.
I know, but come on, man. We gonna act like we were those high school kids.
Folks, do not drink if you are under 21. Do not drink and drive.
Unless
do not
you're
drink
from the
Henness.
UK you can. If you're 18 and drink, you can get some Henny. If you're in the UK and you're 18 and a LeBron fan, go ahead and get your VSOP.
We do not condone underage drinking on this show. We do not condone drinking and driving on this show.
No. Never that.
Yes. Drink responsibly. Drink your Henny VSOP responsibly. Everybody.
If you are gonna drink under the age of 21 in the United States, please have a parent or guardian present.
Yes. There you go.
There you go. I ain't saying nothing about drinking and driving. I don't mind a kid having a drink if mom and dad is there. That's just me. But
yeah. Oh, I'm putting out there. Don't drink and drive. Just
no,
important.
never. I'm not trying to promote. That's what I said. I'm not trying to promote it or say it.
Yeah. LeBron's gonna be in the locker room drinking Hennessy after DeAndre Ayton gives up 30 points a game, and just oh my God, this dude. How are we supposed to win when this is our starting center?
You gotta say, you got some of that VSOP.
Throwing back shots of Hennessy.
I can see LeBron and Luka sharing a drink after the game. Let's have some VSOP shot.
Yeah, of course. I mean, here comes. I was trying to think who is the Lakers equivalent to Michael. To Michael Finley. To Michael Finley. He just comes in there and steals the drink from Luka. Derek Fisher, maybe. Derek Fisher just comes in there. He's like, "Give me this. What are you doing here? Can't be drinking." A Hennessy announcement is the LeBron James announcement.
I can't believe he did that.
I mean, I can. Come on now. LeBron's the corniest dude in the world. He's hilarious.
He is
but it's
hilarious.
very corny.
He's definitely
very
bad.
corny.
He has dad humor.
Yeah. Hennessy, everybody. Hennessy.
Yep. Hennessy.
So Santos Escobar
Where do you think he's gonna end up?
with Hennessy.
Well, that would make sense. I did not predict Andrade going to AEW. I said Andrade would go to New Japan or or CMLL. Now I'm thinking Santos Escobar. That would be the perfect spot for him, is CMLL.
Yeah, I don't know what his relationship is like with CMLL. I think I saw Lucha Blog say that they kind of left on bad terms, but this was years ago, and so
Yeah.
it could very easily be worked out with time and talk. So we shall see. I wouldn't shock me if he ends up in AEW. I don't know about immediately. Look, you want to do something quick? I mean, he's a free agent. Bring him in on Title Tuesday tonight.
Yeah, that's how you
rolling.
go and get people to watch your show. You did a great job. We mentioned it last week with me and Joel. They did a great job of grabbing the headlines for last week with the Andrade return. Like, regardless of how people felt about Andrade's return, you can't deny that was the biggest news story of the week in wrestling. And AEW was able to do that in a similar fashion that WWE's ever to get those headline grabbing moments to happen. They got that there. They can do it again on a very important night where I mentioned my main criticism of last week's anniversary show is I felt like Tony Khan had took the punt on even trying to promote Title Tuesday against NXT Showdown. I hated last week's NXT, but I had to give it credit. At least it did a great job of hyping up NXT Showdown, whereas AEW didn't do that with Title Tuesday. But I think from the lineups that Title Tuesday can be the better show tonight, but you're going to need a moment to really kind of grab the headlines from tonight. So that would be it. It would be Santos Escobar walking in or someone like a Karrion Kross walking in. I had heard that idea that Redman Survivor mentioned. I think it was Post Wrestling had to be Way and John. They were talking about who could be Mercedes Moné's possible opponent for tonight, and they mentioned Izzy because tonight is the anniversary of the Iron Woman matchup between Bayley and Sasha, and Izzy can make her in-ring debut against Mercedes, maybe just a one-off against Mercedes. I think that would be a cool moment as well, but Santos Escobar definitely would be the one that would grab the headlines, not Izzy. Izzy would grab a headline.
Yeah.
But Santos would grab major headlines.
Yeah. Santos would grab a lot of headlines considering it's one day after his WWE departure and he shows up on AEW. I mean, that would be like a big
Aleister Black.
Yeah. Well, Black was, was different because he got released and everybody thought he had 60, but he only had 30.
Yeah.
So, or 90, I guess, and he only had 30. Like Escobar, everyone knows he's gone, so it wouldn't be. I would say it wouldn't be too surprising, but it would definitely be surprising if he was there this quickly. I mean, I think that would be a huge for AEW. We'll see if they do it. I have no idea with what they if they've talked or what Santos's plans are. If he has an idea of what he wants to do. Maybe he doesn't want to go to AEW just yet. Maybe he wants to bide his time, do some other things. Who knows? If I'm Tony Khan, I've at least reached out though. Tony was up late celebrating the Jaguars' victory. He's like, yeah. Let me shoot a text to my old friend Santos Escobar here and see what's up.
Shoot him a DM. What's up?
You see that Jags victory? Did you see Trevor Lawrence out there beating the Kansas City Chiefs? You want to come play with the winning team out here? Show up. Title Tuesday. We'll bring you in right now. Yeah, Andrade was a surprise because I don't think a lot of people thought he was going to go to AEW, and especially that quickly. So that was a big
3
surprise
weeks after his release. That was a super surprise to everyone.
Yeah. I don't think anybody has to worry about Kross in AEW. I don't know if people...
from his last interview that he did, it don't sound like that's even been broached.
I mean, here's what Kross said. He did an interview with Chris Van Vliet that just came out today. And it's asked about possible interest in AEW. And it's Cross says, I don't think we should say who we do or don't talk to. And then he talks about the interest in 2022 with everything. But he basically says that it's not fair to Tony Khan when it comes to AEW. I just don't think there's mutual interest there, honestly. I don't
I think Tony was interested after the initial run. He did confirm that he talked to Tony between his first and second stints with WWE. But from how we've heard nothing in regards to AEW even inquiring in Dakota Kai, I think that I'm drawing comparison to these two because Cross and Kai were two that basically turned down or went with WWE instead of AEW when they got let go the first time. They went back to WWE, and it doesn't seem like Tony's going to be very quick to ask them again or talk to them again in regards to coming in.
Yeah, I mean, Cross has said multiple times that he wants to stay or he wants to return to WWE, and he's leaving the door open for that. So if I'm Tony, I'm looking at that like, all right, why am I gonna pay you to come in here and you want to go back to WWE? And Cross, when he talks about the fair part of it, he was saying like, yeah, it's not fair to Tony when we want to go back to WWE to go there to AEW. I think that's part of it. I think a big part of it is I just don't really think Cross fits in AEW.
He doesn't.
Don't know if there's a real spot for him in AEW unless he's going to be part of the Don Callis family.
There's a spot for everybody in the Don Callis family.
Yeah, like there's a spot for everybody in the Don Callis family. That's the only thing. I just don't think he like really fits in AEW, and I think Tony knows that, and I think maybe Cross even knows that. I don't think people got to worry about Cross in AEW if you're not high on him in AEW.
Makes sense, and it makes sense for both sides. Like I saw, Cross and Scarlett said if they signed with AEW, they would be committed to them for life, basically forever. They said that the next major company they sign with, that's it. That's all for them. It's a wrap for them. Well, as you saw from the last run, you're not in control of any of that, but okay. So yeah, but they still want to be back in WWE. It's wise for AEW to stay clear of anyone who has that type of mindset.
Yeah, 100%. Anything else on Escobar?
I'm gonna go with the CMLL for my answer to my own question, where I think he'll show up next. I think he'll show up in CMLL only because a lot of the other options that would have been good for him, like a TNA and AAA, are WWE owned, basically, or WWE affiliated at this point. So it does eliminate a lot of different options for the performers, which really sucks in general in pro wrestling. But that's what the cookie crumbles. I think that we see Santos in CMLL in regards to like known companies. I don't think he'll sign on a full-time run. That's why I say CMLL, because he can go like off and on per date kind of deal.
Yeah, I don't. When it comes to CMLL, again, I don't know what the relationship is. I assume it can be worked out, but he might have loyalty to AAA, and if that's the case, then maybe he just doesn't go to CMLL at all. Maybe there's a possibility with New Japan if he wants to go over there. Options really are just so limited now because WWE has their hand on TNA and AAA, so that kind of takes out two of the bigger promotions that you could go to. And AEW works with New Japan and CMLL, which doesn't like take them, which means you could still go there and everything. But because of the contention with WWE with all that, it's like, all right, do I want to go there and mess up things with WWE potentially? Like you don't know. And then you're just doing indies. And I think he's too big to just do indies. So it's tough. it's tough out there when it comes to the options because WWE has their hand in so many pots and there's so many relationships out there.
Yeah, but if there's like a few talents that AEW wants to sign for who just got their WWE release this year, I think Dakota Kai, Santos Escobar, that's it. No one else.
Yeah.
Those should be the two from the recent WWE releases that I would bring into AEW right now, that I think they would have a role for them to play and they could contribute and become, consistent people that we see on AEW television moving forward. It's those two and nobody else, really. Not even Cedric Alexander. I like Cedric and I know he has a role with the Hurt Syndicate, but I'll take Dakota Kai and Santos Escobar before him.
MLW is a good shout in the sense that they treat the lucha talent very well. They do a great job with their lucha talent, and I think Escobar could be big for them. MLW is not like a long-term solution, but it's a good bridge solution where you're gonna get some dates. The thing is, they only run one show a month, so that kind of limits you. I don't know what the pay is. It's good enough for people like Dijak, Riddle, Bishop Dyer, Shotzi. Like, you're getting some money from them. You can still work your indies and everything. It's a possibility for Escobar, at least until maybe something else comes along. But at least you go there and you'll be treated like a big deal there. Again, they do very well. They do very well with a lot of their talent, but especially the lucha talent. They really put them on a pedestal. I mean, Mystico headlined their last show. Got attacked by Austin Aries at the end, but their last show.
The two things that the MLW have been booking very well this year in general are luchadors and underutilized WWE talent. And Santos checks both of those boxes, so he could be a future MLW World Champion.
Yeah. All right, WWE Raw. Last night, Jey Uso lost in the main event. He's a dork-ass loser. Little Roman, except Little Roman would not have lost. Roman Reigns wasn't going to lose some random Raw tag team match. I was surprised when Jey took the pin. Like, you got Jimmy right there. Why is Jey taking this pin?
Well, they wanted to prove the point that LA Knight was getting across in his promo, that despite Jey, being a former world champion, he feels like he's higher on the pecking order than Jey right now. He has a victory over Seth Rollins. He didn't lose at WrestlePalooza. He actually counted the loss for Jey Uso. So it was just getting that across. I do agree with you. They probably should have just had Jimmy Uso lose here, but that felt too predictable. And I think that this loss for Jey Uso is going to further lead to the next progression of the story of him becoming Little Roman or becoming a new version of Jey Uso. But I thought that was that, and the Seth Rollins stuff were like the best part of the show. Jey Uso and all the interplay and the bloodline drama, the newest chapter, post bloodline drama between Roman, Jey, and Jimmy. Those backstage segments were handled very well throughout the night. It built into the main event. We didn't know what the main event was going to be until after the middle of the hour segment, which is another kind of little slight format change, which I do like about Monday Night Raw, because Monday Night Raw has been so boring and predictable as of late. I'll take any type of changes at all. So less vision on this week's episode, like last week's episode. This was better. This was better than the last month and a half of Monday Night Raw. I'll give them that.
Yeah, I thought it was a good episode last night, as far as like progressing some major talking points with everything. And the in-ring was what it was, but considering it was the go-home show for Crown Jewel, which is allegedly this Saturday, I thought there was some good progression on some of the major matches for that show. The Jey stuff, I'm just wondering what the end game is with Jey. Like, is he going to be a heel? Is he going to turn into sort of Roman? Like, he doesn't command like Roman commands. Like he just doesn't have that about him. I think Jay is a fun baby face. His world title reign was what it was. I understand taking the shot with him. He was super over. You're not going to deny Jay's popularity and how over he was. But he doesn't command like Roman. Like command. Like you saw it that opening segment. Roman comes out. He's going back and forth with Bronson. They do the brawl. Roman stands on top of the turnbuckle and everything. Like he just has that presence that it's like, oh yeah, this is the dude right here. And that started obviously with the heel run, but now he hasn't changed, but now he's got it as a baby face. Jay he doesn't have that. So I don't know if the end game is a heel for Jay, and if he's a heel, what does that even look like? It just feels like he's a kind of a mid-card heel act and not like a top guy as a heel.
I'll be honest with you. I think that the interplay and the interactions and the drama has been so well done. I'm not thinking about what's this leading to. I'm just enjoying the interplay and having the bloodline drama back on my television screen because I feel like it's been such an important missing factor on WWE television this year. I think that this is why 2025 will go down as like the first year that Triple H didn't have like stellar reviews from everybody in regards to his storytelling and the moments that he built up. Like the moments in the Bloodline saga, it felt like it was leading naturally into the next moment, the next storyline plot, the next feud that they were going into. Meanwhile, a lot of the moments in this year have felt very fleeting and haven't been followed up to very well, and therefore the moment didn't mean as much as it initially did. Like imagine, like go back and remember how you felt at the beginning of June when R-Truth made his return at Money in the Bank to how you feel about that right now. It's a fleeting moment. It's a moment that meant nothing. It meant absolutely, utterly jack and shit together as friends sleeping together. That's what it was. It was jack and shit. That meant nothing. And that's what a lot of the 2025 moments mean. Jay Uso winning the Royal Rumble. Yeah, that was great. A great moment. And yeah, it led to Jay Uso winning the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. But everything in between was so trash that neither one of those moments mean jack and shit either. And yes, Jay is in a higher position than he was at the start of the year, but that is because he is that good at his connection that he has with the fans. It has nothing to do with the booking and the moments that WWE has given him. But I really enjoy his character work over the last couple of weeks and the different layers that you're adding to him and that you're bringing back some of the Jay Uso that originally created that connection that he had with the fans. The insecure Jay Uso, the Jay Uso who's trying to prove himself to his family and to Roman. That Jay Uso, that is the Jay Uso that became a single star. So going back to that, I think has made Jay Uso into one of the more interesting characters on Monday Night Raw, and that was no different last night. Punk and LA Knight, I like their interplay. I really want them to go in the direction of just give us that feud. Like, stop teasing us. I feel like they're honey dicking us with this whole LA Knight CM Punk feud because they keep teasing it, but they're not going all the way. Like they're dipping their toes into the water of that feud by having them interact and cut promos on one another. But it's quite obvious we're not getting this match to set up the number one contender. We're getting a triple threat with Jay, even though Jay lost last night. But it's quite obvious that's the match we're getting. We're not getting Punk and Knight to determine the number one contender. We're getting all three guys to determine the number one contender because they don't want to give us Punk versus Knight yet. For some reason, I don't know. I really don't. I'm really confused. Just give us the damn matchup. It's not like you push LA Knight like he's one of your top stars that you have to save this matchup for a bigger show. Just do it on a Monday Night Raw. It would be a huge Monday Night Raw main event. it will just be another big stars going at it on a PLE if you put it on a PLE. But if you put it on a Monday Night Raw, it feels much bigger and it comes off as more of a surprise. And you could do a pay-per-view match later on. So I don't understand why they just keep honey-dicking us with that. But I like all these people involved. I find it interesting there's no heels involved here, but is the question is who's going to turn heel, because there's a lot of baby faces in this main event picture and you need one of them to turn heel at some point.
When Jey Uso came out in this promo between Punk and LA Knight, because I thought the stuff between Punk and LA Knight was good. When Jey Uso came out, I'm like, oh, didn't all you dorks lose in Paris? Why are all of you coming out here? You all lost. Get out of here. I don't need to see this again. It's just like, oh man, I saw this. We did the 4-way match.
We did.
What are we doing with this? Give me someone new out of this, or at least give me a one contender, and hopefully we get there with one contender and we get a one-on-one match. But the pay-per-view after this is Survivor Series, so they're probably gonna do War Games with the Vision there. So I don't think we're gonna get any type of one-on-one there unless they're gonna do it.
But the Saturday night's main event. It's Saturday night's main event in November. That's before Survivor Series. Okay. That's gonna be the title match. That's gonna be whoever's the number one contender is gonna get it at that show to set up the War Games match.
Congratulations to LA Knight to lose another title match.
Probably so. To answer Redbin Survivor, who said AEW just posted a top 10 Daily's Place moments video. Do you want to try and guess the top 10? All right, I'm going to go Brody Lee tribute. Brody Lee beats Cody for the TNT title. Cody's original speech on the first Dynamite from Daily's Place.
I don't know if they're going to do that one.
I think that's a top 10 moment in Daily's Place. That's the first. It's the first Dynamite after the pandemic.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
And they haven't been shy about like placing anybody. I think if Brody Lee's tribute is not number one, then the next one would be number one. It would be Sting's debut. Winter is Coming 2020.
Yeah,
and then you go the first Stadium Stampede. We go Jade and Shaq debut. I
think Britt and Rosa.
Britt and Thunder Rosa. Kenny Omega wins the AEW World Championship.
Yeah. John Moxley and Jake Hager. That street fight.
No, fuck that. This guy is outrageous. Oh, that's a good shout, Volup. Yeah, Double or Nothing 2021. The first show in front of a full packed house after the pandemic. Maybe.
Blood and Guts. First Blood and Guts.
First Blood and Guts. The parking lot brawl between Santana and Ortiz versus the Best Friends.
All right, all right. Here's what it is. It's a 13-minute video. Just give me.
Are we gonna watch it?
No. Stadium Stampede. Oh wait, was that a? Okay, Stadium Stampede. Yep, Rosa and Baker. Lights out. All right, now I'm just skipping forward. Parking lot brawl.
See, we done named everything. I think.
All right,
nailed it.
Blood and Guts. I was right on that. Blood and Guts.
Yeah.
Moxley and Kenny, with Kenny winning the title.
Yeah.
Cody winning the TNT title.
Ah, I didn't think they would put that.
Yeah, I didn't think.
But they put that over the speech, right?
Sting debut. All right, Sting debut. Shaq and Jade. Brody Lee tribute. And that's
number
everything.
1.
That was 10, right?
Brody Lee tribute was number 1.
Yeah, Brody Lee. I don't think it really counted them down in order. It just kind of said, it just kind of said like top 10. It didn't like fully do.
My headphones. Hold on.
Okay.
Just go.
You good?
Okay, now I can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, my headphones bug out sometimes and just drop on me after
Oh,
weekend. But
okay. Yeah, it didn't really do it in order. It just kind of had a top 10 because I don't think they assigned numbers to it. But Brody Lee tribute was, I guess, theoretically number one because it was the last thing they showed. The Punk debut wouldn't land anywhere because it's Daily's
Wasn't at
place
Daily's
only.
place.
So
he kept asking that too. It was like, it was a good one. It was good. No, that was in Chicago.
yeah, the Punk debut would not be anywhere because that did not happen at Daily's place. They still, did some Cody and Jade stuff. I was surprised. I'm with you that they went Cody's TNT title win over the, because if you're gonna do a Cody thing, it does feel like the speech would be the bigger thing because that was pretty
1,000%. That's
pretty
what.
big.
That's like a top 10, top 15 Dynamite moment in the history of the show.
Yeah, I think the Jade thing also, it's because Shaq's there, right? Like if it's just Jade debuting, it's not there.
No, it's not. It's not top 10, but because Shaq, that brings mainstream eyes to it. That's why it's a bigger deal.
Yeah. So that's why Shaq there. They should have had Mike Tyson and Chris Jericho face off. That should have been there.
Yeah.
I guess Dinner Debonair doesn't like fully count as a Daily's place thing.
That should have counted. That was at Daily's place.
Yeah. I don't know why Chris Jericho's been erased now more than Cody and Jade.
They show Blood and Guts 1. They show Blood and Guts.
Yeah, where Chris Jericho, falls on the cardboard. So
falls on a mattress.
Yeah, I think that should have been there over like the TNT title win or anything like that. Sammy getting hit by the golf cart was Stadium Stampede, so that's
that was a May 6th, 20
Oh, was it? Okay.
episode of Dynamite.
Right.
It's a street fight of Matt Hardy and Kenny Omega versus Jericho and Sammy Guevara. Where the first golf cart spot.
Oh,
happened.
right.
And then they redo it in the first Stadium Stampede.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's fair. With that, there's a lot of good moments at Daily's place.
Yeah.
I mean, they had a whole pandemic to do moments, so there was gonna be some stuff.
It's gonna be a few. It's gonna be a few. I would add a recent moment. Tony Storm revealing that she was timeless the whole entire time. That's a top Daily's place moment for me.
No, Malachi debut was not Daily's place either. King Potate, you're over out here, buddy.
You're betting like 0%, buddy. It was Daily's place where Malachi beat Cody for
and Cody left his boots in the ring like a dork. Malachi's debut was first show back on the road, right?
Yeah, it was Road Ranger 2021.
Yeah, that was first show back.
Or Fighter Fest. I don't know. It was Road Ranger and Fighter Fest. It was one or the other.
King Potate, you're 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts right now. You gotta at least make contact here, man.
Gotta punt. You gotta go for the bunt at this point. Like, goddamn.
Eddie Kingston debut should be up there, honestly.
That should be up there. I totally agree. That should definitely be up there. That's a top Dynamite AEW moment in general.
Yeah. You could say saying just came off the IR. Give me a break. Should have given you a spring training game. Should have given you a rehab game.
No one told you to pick up the bat. No one told you to go to the at bat box. Like, sir, you can't blame me if you're not hitting anything.
Should have given you a rehab game down in AAA to get you back in there. Sleepy Greg Valentine in the crowd. There's a lot of debuts. FTR. Andrade was Daily Place. Andrade's first debut was Daily's Place.
With Vicky.
Yes. Oh boy. Yeah.
FTR. That was a good one. With the car.
You know it should have been there.
In the car.
You know it should have been there, but they're cowards and they weren't going to do it.
Who the hell told you tonight was open mic night, bitch?
That should have been there.
It's the vitriol she has in her voice. Who told you it was open mic night, bitch? If New Japan was worth a damn still, I think Kenta's debut
Oh,
in the
yeah.
opening of the real first
real
opening
Forbidden Door,
of
yeah.
the Forbidden Door, that would have been bigger if New Japan was as relevant as they were in 2021.
Yeah. If the exploding barbed wire actually
If it went
exploded,
off,
that
Eddie
one.
Kingston saving Jon Moxley would have been a
Yeah.
top 10 moment in Dynamite AEW history.
Yes, yeah, that one would have been something. They're back at Daly's Place tonight for a great show.
I don't think we even
Tremendous show.
finished Raw yet, but
We skipped over to Daly's Place, top 10 over here. All right, what do we have elsewhere from Raw? I thought the Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman interaction, you kind of mentioned it, was good. Where Seth,
best segment of the show. Best
Seth
segment
talking
of
about
the show.
I gotta beat him. You know, I have to win. And Heyman's like, well, you will. It's like, well, what if I don't? I didn't like you lose the respect of the locker room. It's like, he's a heel. Why does the locker room respect him anyway? What do you mean he loses the respect of the locker room? The other stuff was good.
The locker room doesn't like him, but they respect him.
Oh, okay. I did like the rest of the stuff where it's like, you know, you lose the trust of Braun and Bronson, like you're the secondary champion, and then where he says like, and Seth asked him, well, what about you? And he's like, well, I might have to think about why I picked you over Roman Reigns. I thought that was good stuff, but when he's like, you might lose the respect of the locker room, I'm like, Seth, everybody in the locker room hates him already. What does Seth care if the locker room doesn't like him?
I thought that worked because Seth Rollins has proven to be a very insecure man throughout this whole program. And so anything about the people, and what have we been complaining about every week, Jeremy? Is that Seth Rollins refuses to be a heel because he wants everyone to love him. So I thought that this worked like gangbusters. This was the best segment of the night because everything made sense to me. Yes, Seth is a very insecure person who's also a narcissist and wants to be loved by everybody. But so telling him that the two guys that have been backing him up are not going to believe in him, not going to follow him anymore, to tell him the locker room who doesn't like him, but he believes, respects him, will lose all respect for him. He has been trying to prop himself up, been basically faking it till he makes it in the face of your CM Punks, in the face of your Roman Reigns. But Cody Rhodes has been the trigger point for him, where it's brought out all the insecurities that he has inside of him, that all of this stuff that he's been saying to CM Punk, that he's been saying to Roman Reigns, it's all a facade. It's just Seth trying to act like the guy that he wants to be instead of him actually being the guy that he is. So I thought that this whole interplay kind of showed you his psyche. And I like the fact that every backstage segment that we've seen on the build to Crown Jewel, what does it start off with Seth doing? Looking at his watch, because the watch has become a symbol of his friendship and relationship with Cody Rhodes. So all of his mind is on Cody every single time because he has a physical representation of Cody, a part of him on his body. So his wife is losing it because she did not have a good night either. He's not even reflected by that. Paul Heyman's trying to tell him, you're going to be all right. You're going to win. He wants to know the truth. He knows Paul Heyman knows the truth. So tell him the truth. Why did Paul Heyman try to stop him from stomping Cody Rhodes on SmackDown? Why did he say that Cody's in his head? And it's because this loss or the win or lose on Saturday dictates how people will view Seth Rollins moving forward, and it makes that match feel even bigger than it did before that segment.
I thought it was a great segment between Heyman and Seth. I can't see Seth losing. I still think that Brock gets involved, and that's Heyman's gift to Seth, is Brock helping him to set up the War Games next month. That's my prediction on it. But I think the segments have been very good with Seth and Cody. The in-ring promos have been good. The video packages recapping the history has been good. And the stuff between Seth and Heyman has been very good. Because it actually feels, for maybe the first time since they've been aligned, like it feels like they are together as an act instead of two separate acts doing two separate things.
Yes. It actually feels like Heyman is his oracle, is his wise man. He actually asked him for advice. Because remember when the whole injury thing went down, one of our big nitpicks was we both felt like Heyman should have been the one who came up with the plan, not Seth. It should have been Heyman to build that connection between the two. But through this build, they've done a good job. And Zeno Hour, as always, you are wrong in the chat. He said the segment was so good that it made Ebo finally admit that Seth Rollins is a well-written character. He's a well-written character the last couple of weeks. That doesn't mean he's been a well-written character. I think that's a misconception. The build to this has been very well constructed, very well written for Seth Rollins to show some actual fucking layers to his character. He's been very one note where WWE has wanted us to see him as a heel, yet he's changed nothing about his babyface character to transition into being a heel. He just wants us to boo him now. Even though he still has the catchy song, he still does the wears the doofus outfits. Like, no, we're not gonna boo you. We're just gonna sit here, we're gonna sing your song, and then we're not gonna get invested into anything you're doing. And that's why a lot of people have had complaints about how heavy the Monday Night Raw has been on Seth Rollins and the Vision. And that's why there's been a vocal minority of fans that says the Vision isn't working. Do I think that? No, I think there's parts of the Vision that's working. There's parts that's not working, but I can't say overall the Vision isn't working. But the reason why there is that complaint is because Seth Rollins is not a well-written character. He's been well-written for 4 weeks. Let's move from there and make him a well-written character for the next rest of the year going into 2026. How about that?
Well, I might be asking a little bit too much.
I know. But I mean, once you show that you can have this character that has layers to them, that shows vulnerability, then you need to continue that. That's what made Roman Reigns the biggest star in the company, is because not only was he this manipulating, gaslighting dictator, but he was also vulnerable. He was also insecure. He needed to be acknowledged. He played on the weaknesses of himself and others. Like, there were so many things to make him a three-dimensional character that it's not there with Seth Rollins right now.
Yeah, Seth has been the same guy since WrestleMania for the most part, and that's, we've complained about it since WrestleMania. We don't need to rehash everything, but finally in this Cody feud, he is turned into someone different. He's turned into a more level and serious and reflective character that people can either get behind in a way that you don't like him, or get behind and understand in a way that makes sense of like, okay, I see where Seth is coming from with all of this. And Heyman has always been good in this role. The problem is, like I was saying earlier, they've just felt disconnected. Felt like Heyman was doing his shtick and Seth was doing his shtick. And finally there's actually a connection there. And hopefully it does continue past this. Because if it does play out where Brock helps Seth, and then you have more to play off of. Did Seth know? Was Heyman acting by himself? Is Seth happy about it because he won? Or is he mad about it because, like, I don't need the help? Like, how does that all work moving forward? Now, they might do something completely different, and then they got to figure it out from there. But it's been a nice change for Seth these past few weeks of actually developing some layers to this character. On the subject of Seth and his wife, Becky Lynch, she faced Maxine Dupree and lost via countout because Jessica Carr continues to fuck on Becky Lynch and screws her over at every turn. What do you think of this match and the decision to have Becky lose by countout?
I think the best way to describe this match is this was the best worst match I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
I think like, yo, the match started with like noticeable botches and very clunkiness between Maxine and Becky. And I was watching, the UK feed on Netflix, and I'm seeing the commercial break, and they're still trying to get on the same page in any way they can. And then when we come back from commercial break and Maxine makes her comeback and the fans just start getting behind her, they have a double down moment where the fans start chanting, "This is awesome." I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I was like, what just happened? Like, I'm into this. The crowd's into this. Like, whoa, they turned this around somehow, some way. Becky Lynch proving why she's the GOAT, why she's the greatest of all time. And it's not just me saying it. Sports Illustrated says it. Bleacher Report says it. Everyone is saying it. So, yeah, Maxine, to bring Maxine Dupree to a 3-star matchup is one of the greatest accomplishments in Becky Lynch's entire life, especially with how this match started. This match did not start well. It looked like it was going to get worse as it went on, but somehow, some way, they were able to put it together. They got a really good middle portion of the matchup, and then they had a shit finish to go along with it, because nothing about this made sense. Why did Becky Lynch throw her outside the ring? Why did Becky Lynch then go onto the announce table when she can obviously hear Jessica Carr counting doing the count out, because she turned around at the count of 8, and then Jessica Carr screws her over and counts 9 and 10 very quickly, but she can hear it the whole time, so there's no reason to be like doing all this and all that shit. Like, I was like, come on, Becky, you got to be better than this. And for all of that, like, I think that Maxine would have gotten way more over if Becky cheats to beat her. If Becky cheats to beat her, I think she gets way more over than that finish that they gave us. It was a shit finish, but I can't say it wasn't a decent enough matchup, but it was probably the best worst match I've ever seen. Ever.
I think because expectations were so low for this match that anything was going to be relatively good. I didn't think it was. I saw a lot of people praising it kind of more than I think it fully deserves to be praised. I'm not saying it was like bad or anything, but
I saw a certain YouTube channel who wrote Becky Lynch versus Maxine Dupree was remarkably great. I was like, you went too far. You went too far. You went too far. Great. Okay, nah, that's a little too much for me. Sorry.
I think it was a fine match that they clearly put a lot of thoughts and effort and planning into, which is great. Go out there, plan everything out, make sure you hit your marks. Everybody looks good. No problem with that. What's it going to lead to for Maxine? No idea. Probably not.
A title match. That's it.
Sure. But then after that, I don't know where Maxine's actually
She'll be off TV for a month.
Yeah. I think I'm with you that it would have done more for Maxine if Becky had cheated. She did hold the tights at one point, and I thought that was going to be the finish. It would have done more for Maxine if that happened. If they weren't cowards, they should have just had Maxine win. Should have had Maxine win.
They had me convinced. This is when I was like, okay, this is at least a decent matchup. Is when she gets the near fall with her foot on the ropes. I was convinced. I was like, you could have made that the finish, and I would have believed it.
Just have Maxine win and put her over in that way. Becky is still, AJ's in her head. She lost to AJ. She's still, everything with Seth going on. She's worried about that as well. Like, there's ways to explain.
That tells the story of AJ's in her head more than Zeno Hour trying to convince me that her losing by count out says that AJ leaves in her head. If AJ leaves in your head, why are you talking to the crowd and say, you see how much I'm beating her up? You see how she would be saying, you see how much better I am than AJ Lee, if that was the point that they were trying to get across. They were just trying to get across that Becky Lynch was a cocky heel who fell on her face. It wasn't anything about AJ being in Becky's head. I agree with you. Your finish of Maxine Dupree actually beating Becky Lynch. That says AJ Lee's in her head, and she can't even remember how to win against someone who's the lowest on the totem pole.
Yeah. Well, they didn't. They had Maxine win by count out, cowardly, as is Triple H's customary booking, cowardly booking. So
yes,
I assume they'll do the rematch. Becky will win, and then we won't see Maxine for 5 months, maybe,
give or take.
Yeah.
And you're not gonna see AJ Lee anytime soon, because CM Punk came out last night, said thank you for giving my wife a welcome back to the company. Anyway, moving on. Nothing to say about her. I'm going after the World Heavyweight Championship. Did anybody else peep that as well as I did?
This is, and maybe it's WWE's fault. Maybe it's AJ's fault. This is something that has really plagued WWE this year, though, is they get these moments and then they can't immediately follow up on them. And yet sometimes it's their fault, sometimes it's the performer's fault, but it's happened throughout the year. What happened after Elimination Chamber and John Cena's turn? He was off TV for 2 weeks before he finally... 3 weeks. And then, of course, Rock and Travis Scott never came back, so that didn't help matters either. When Brock returned, he was off TV for weeks at a time until finally coming back. AJ returns. She wins this match. Not on television since. It's been almost a month now. It's going to be a month before the time she comes back. They get these moments and then they can't follow up with them for one reason or another. And it's happened all year. And it's made things worse this year. Like, it's hurt the storytelling with everything because they haven't been able to follow up with it. And AJ, we'll see when she comes back.
It's very true. It's very true. They seem to do this all the time. They don't know how to immediately follow up. And I do agree with Volop in the chat that AEW has a similar issue of theirs as well. They don't know how to follow up in a hot, meaningful way off of angles. It's just a general problem for the top two promotions right now, but I think it's more prevalent in WWE because of how often it happens.
It's not only how often, it's the actual moments that they're doing as well.
Yeah.
I mean, a John Cena heel turn, an AJ Lee return. Okay, Kenny Omega
these are huge things.
Yeah.
Like, these are the biggest moments of the year you haven't been able to follow up on.
Yeah. With AEW, I mean, their biggest moment was Hangman winning, and then the next show was Hangman Page. So they at least
every show since. Like, I know I heard there's been some people that complain about the television AEW has produced since All In, but there's no denying that they have made it clear that Hangman Adam Page is the face of the company. So they have very, very properly followed up on their biggest moment of the year.
Yeah. What else happened from Raw? AJ Styles and Dragon Lee and Penta won a 6-man tag, and AJ Styles
Rusev got involved. Looks like we're gonna get Rusev and Penta versus Dom for the IC title at some point.
We're getting Penta and Dom next week because we need that match again.
Yeah, but because of the super kick in this matchup to Rusev from Penta, I'm gonna assume that Rusev gets involved and either screws Penta or it's a DQ finish.
Yeah. Then AJ Styles says, "I don't need a story with my match against John Cena. The match is going to kick ass." It's like, well, good. You guys don't have a story because
exactly. That's what I was like. I was like, for you to say that, like there was a story. You like that is so disingenuous. I can tell, AJ, you did not write a word of this. Triple H wrote every single word of it. Like, we don't need a story. It's gonna be kick ass.
Why didn't he did it last week, and I thought that was good. Just say you're gonna beat up John Cena. That's all anybody wants to hear. Say the line, AJ. Just say the line. We don't need a story. No, You're probably right.
This
Triple
is
H
this is Triple H responding to online complaints
to his friend
about the
Mark.
build.
Yeah,
Online complaints about the build to this match.
it's so lazy
He's so insecure. Oh my
to
god.
just be like, we don't need a story. You have a story. You did a video package that laid out the story between them. Just say that. Or say, I mean, AJ kind of did it. Like, the fans demanded it and everything. Just do that again and say the beat up John Cena line. That's all we need. We don't need a story. You're right. Insecurity.
Corny.
Yeah.
Y'all are so insecure right now. Like,
You know,
y'all
Triple
just
H
can't. Y'all can't get over the fact that people haven't been feeling y'all this year. It's been fun. Honestly, the last couple of months of watching WWE TV and seeing how insecure they are has been one of my favorite times watching wrestling.
It is very funny. It is very funny, but oh my gosh, we don't need a story. You know, Triple H is backstage, like just pumping his fist, like yeah, we don't need no
Give him Bruce. He
here.
just looks at Bruce like
high five. Yeah.
We told them.
Io and Kyrie was go ahead.
They went very much post-evolution episode of Monday Night Raw on this one. The first 3 matches were all women's matches on this show.
Yeah.
I was like, this is why I peeped it when Io and Kyrie started. I was like, oh, all 3 of the first 3 matches were all women's matches. No wonder I'm enjoying this episode a lot.
Io and Kyrie, I know everybody's talking about where Kyrie damn near on the Alabama Slam on the apron. That didn't look great, but
you ain't hear half the things you heard when Kyle Fletcher did that same exact thing to Adam Cole. You did not hear half as much of vitriol on social media like you heard when Kyle Fletcher did that. And yes, Adam Cole has a history of concussion issues, but man, Io Sky don't need a history of concussion issues, and she will if she takes bumps like that. That was scary. I was like, oh my god. I enjoyed the hell out of the matchup. I thought it was one of the better match, if not the best match from last night's show, and I was into it, but god damn, I don't never want to see Io or any of these ladies take a bump like that again.
Yeah. Alabama Slam on the apron is tough because it's already a move where like you're whipping someone forward when they're trying to tuck their chin, but they're going back, and so they're hitting their head. So it's already like a tough move, and then to do it on an apron where you gotta basically hit like shoulder blade, because that's what Kevin does with the pop-up powerbomb. It's more shoulder blade, but you're still like whipping him with that. Like it's a move that I just don't know if you need to be doing on the apron, because it's already a rough move in the ring. So to do it on the apron, like you got less protection on it. It's probably cut that move out. Honestly, I think it'll be all right if it gets cut out. At least with like a power bomb, there's a little bit more room for error on there.
Yeah.
As far as where you're putting them, and you can protect yourself a little bit more on it by getting like your arms a little out and just hitting it like that. I mean, Finn popped his shoulder out when he did that on the barricade, but you can at least protect yourself a little bit more on that. There ain't a whole lot of protection on that Alabama Slam onto the apron. Yeah, that was a rough looking spot. I like the post match though, and I did like the fans chanted for Rhea, which was good. But Adam Pearce did explain, like, Rhea's already in Australia doing so. Anybody expecting Rhea?
Really enjoyed the backstage segment to set up the matchup with Asuka now going abusive. Now she's physically abusive to Kyrie. This abusive relationship is just getting scarier to watch every week. Just slap the crap out of Kyrie. Kylie! She's like, you will show Io respect. And then Kyrie's like, okay. Kyrie! The fan sign that did a cartoon animation of Asuka with the face paint and tears down her face, and then it says Kyrie at the
That was
top
good.
with the
Yeah.
other. That was great. Great
That was
stuff.
good.
Best side. That and the Maxine Dupree with the Sports Illustrated sign and number 1, best 2 signs of the night last night.
Yeah, that was good. Joel, we did cover LeBron's announcement. We covered it an hour ago because Hennessy just tweeted it out. LeBron teased this story for 24 hours, and Hennessy just tweeted it out. We covered it. We covered it at the top of the show, and then when it broke at like 11, we covered it. So yeah,
We're good here.
Anything else from Raw that we need to touch on?
Mostly it's still not into the whole Bailey Lyra stuff. Is until it feels like they are actually trying, I'm not going to be into it, and it still doesn't feel like they're trying all that much. It's a middle of the first hour, middle of second hour matchup. Doesn't really matter all that much. It's not involved in the title picture. It's just lacking. So I hope they can figure something else to turn that around. But that was all from Monday Night Raw from me.
We got a big Tuesday. We have Dynamite. We have NXT tonight. Head to head. What will you be watching, SP3?
I'm going to have Title Tuesday on the big screen, and I will have Showdown on my laptop.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna be watching both. I'll probably be more favoring Title Tuesday because that has more of what I'm looking for from my wrestling tonight. Showdown, I will watch it. I'm gonna have both on at the same time, but I'll probably dedicate more time to watch Showdown like Wednesday morning to be able to talk about it a little bit more throughout the week. But yeah, I'm going to be more focused on Title Tuesday over Invasion because that show last week, they did a good job of letting me know that Showdown was this week. They didn't do a good job of making me want to watch it.
Well, it's a showcase showdown. You don't want to see these two companies who are working together and, happy to be there. Come on now. This is going to be great. We're going to see the top stars from TNA and NXT. All the stars are out. Frankie Kazarian, Moose, the Iconics. All the stars are here. I'll have Showdown on this monitor. I'll have NXT on this monitor. And I think I'm covering, AEW, NXT, whatever. I think I'm covering AEW, so I'll be more locked into AEW, but I'll have Showdown on the monitor. Again, it's very easy viewing with the two monitors here. And then I'll mostly be paying attention to hockey on the TV over here because hockey season starts tonight, and that's way more important than professional wrestling. At least my team doesn't play till 10:30, and I know it's a 2.5 hour show with AEW tonight, but be over by 10:30. Puck's not going to drop until 10:45 anyway, so as long as
definitely be done by then.
Yeah, as long as they're done by the time my team starts playing, that's all I really care about. What's
the one match? I was going to ask you. What's the one match you're looking forward to out of the two shows? Match or segment? We'll make it either way.
Jack Perry and Luchasaurus in action for the first time in 3 years. The Jurassic Express back in action.
If you wanted a serious answer to this question,
we are gonna be jacking off.
I would say probably for me it would be the Samoa Joe and Hangman face to face. As far as
That's
anything, what do I want to watch the most out of the two shows? It would be that, and then secondary it would be Brodito versus the Don Callis family. Yeah. That's gonna be fucking amazing. If they go all out and Bandito is at 85% with the shoulder injury, I think that will be splendid. But Bandito and Hechicero had a hell of a matchup, hell of a sequel on CMLL on Friday night.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that tag team match the most for AEW. And I'm with you when you said segment. Joe and Hangman is there for me as well because Joe's amazing, Hangman's great, so it should be a very good talk them into the building, talk them into the pay-per-view segment. And then on NXT, I mean, I think Ali and Ethan will probably be the best match.
That is what I'm looking forward to, and it's like not even close. I think the best match will honestly, I do think the best match will be the men's elimination matchup, though.
Okay. I'm
I think
very curious.
Those guys involved in that matchup, they're just too good. You got Javon, you got Leon Slater, you got Mike Santana, Ricky Saints, Trick Williams. Like, all those guys are great. So I think they're going to have a great match.
They're going to do it in such a convoluted booking, though, that I'm just like, That's where I'm worried about, where the booking is just going to get convoluted with, Joe Hendry and how's he going to get involved and all this stuff.
I don't understand why we needed special referees.
It's lazy. I said it yesterday. It's lazy. It's lazy. It's a lazy trope that they're deciding to do with this. And I do think that I feel like Santana and Trick are going to like get DQ'd. And so like they're going to get counted out so that it protects both of them.
Or Javon and Leon.
I think they'll pin Leon. I don't think they care about that. I really don't. I think they'll protect Santana because Santana's got the world title shot and he should be winning the title on Sunday. Whether or not he does, different story, but should be winning the title on Sunday. But I don't think they care about protecting Leon at all. And I think they want to protect Ricky. I could see Miles will get pinned. I could see Ricky and Javon surviving, honestly.
Yeah, I can see that.
Easily see that. And then the women, I've been steadfast that I think the knockouts are going to win because I think there's going to be dissension with the
that was
NXT
I mean
team.
it was obvious to me the knockouts were going to win when they didn't pick anybody who's never been in WWE. I was like, they're literally picking only former WWE people, including someone who was just in WWE 4 months ago, because the TNA knockouts are winning this matchup.
Yeah, and the TNA knockouts are led by an NXT talent. So that is their way of like, TNA won with their NXT champion. That's gonna be what it is. I am curious of how they're gonna book this Hardys and Dark State stuff, especially if the Dudleys are gonna be ringside. And
I mean, it's quite obvious. You have the Hardys win. You have the Hardys win, and then the Dudleys be like, put the NXT championships on the line too on Sunday.
I mean, that's possible. I could.
Winner takes all. It's the biggest tag team match in pro wrestling history.
That's definitely main eventing. That's gonna main event over Santana and Trick. That's a bad look. We shall see. And then Title Tuesday. We've got Samoa Joe, Hangman Page face to face. We've got Moxley and Ishii. We've got we mentioned Brodito against Okada and Takeshita. The street fight between the Demand and the Hurt Syndicate. Mercedes against somebody. Orange Cassidy and Pac. I'm looking forward to Orange Cassidy and Pac. That's going to be great. And Kyle and Kyle. I'm not looking forward to everybody just chanting Kyle.
That's going to be fantastic.
It's going to be...
I can't wait to hear how upset Jimmy Macaram is about that matchup tomorrow.
I don't need everybody chanting for Kyle and doing that. We did it once. Okay.
We Kyle people! We Kyle people! I can't wait. We Kyle people! I enjoyed
it the first time. I thought it was good. I thought it was funny the first time.
Hey.
I don't need it 2 months later.
This time you're getting it live.
Yeah. I don't need it 2 months later. We just did it not too long
When did that match happen?
It wasn't that long ago. It could only be like 2-3 months, I swear. There's no way it was more than 3 months ago. No way.
I think I'm
looking it up. No. He faced O'Reilly June 25th. See? Less than
3 months.
Okay, about 3 months ago. Okay. Yeah.
No, more than 3 months ago.
All right, just over 3 months. Fine. It feels like it was not that long. 3 months is still not very long in the world of wrestling to run this back.
I've been informed every Thursday when I review Dynamite. Some people don't watch Collision, sir.
I mean, that's true.
You could tell by the ratings too, to be fair.
Well, every wrestling program is dead based on these new ratings. So,
Oh man, it is marking. Oh my God, has wrestling not been popular this whole time? It's just
Yes.
it's been counted wrong.
yeah, that's exactly what happened. I can truly buy that. Honestly, I can.
Me too. Me too. When I heard that suggestion, I was like, yes. Yes, it's never been as popular as we thought. No.
I mean, ticket sales. Look, I think it got hot last year and everything, but ticket sales cratered this year for not only because like TKO raised their prices, but even AEW ain't like lighting the world on fire with ticket sales unless it's a pay-per-view. But weekly Dynamites, this is why they have to go to smaller venues, because it had to, they weren't drawing enough to run the bigger venues. Yep. So ticket sales are a better indicator to me than ratings, and ticket sales have been down recently. And the fact that you can say the rating system is outdated, you can say the new rating system is outdated, fine. I don't fully disagree with all of that, because I do think there's a lot of people streaming nowadays. There's a lot of people using illegal websites nowadays, and like that stuff isn't tracked in that way. But I think you can point to the Netflix numbers, where the Netflix numbers are just at the consistent 2.4 or whatever. They started out at,
and that's worldwide. That's global.
They started out at 8 million or whatever it was for the premiere, and then it's 2.4. Then you hear the pay-per-views, and the pay-per-views, they don't even do numbers on those because they're on Peacock. You know what was kind of telling? ESPN and WWE didn't put out any type of press release
mentioning anything
for WrestlePalooza.
Yeah.
They didn't put out anything of, oh, it's the biggest WrestlePalooza of all time, which duh.
I'll be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if months from now, before the end of the year, we find out that AEW had more people that bought it than bought the ESPN app.
And maybe, but I don't think the AEW numbers are as strong as we've been led to believe on things either, because I don't buy this whole we don't know the max numbers. I can't buy that. What do you mean you don't know the max numbers? You're telling me Tony Khan, the owner of AEW, can't go to Max, can't go to Warner Brothers and be like, hey, what are we doing? That's kind of important information when you're shopping for a deal or you're trying to promote stuff. Adam Silver, if he goes to Amazon and is like, what are the numbers? And Amazon is like, well, you know, it could be this, it could be that. We don't really know. He ain't accepting that answer. And he'd be like, oh, okay, great, cool. They can track those numbers. They have the technology to track this kind of stuff. And I think if they were good, they would be promoting it. But I don't think they're great. I think they're fine for the most part. Like, I watch on Max. A lot of people I follow watch on Max. I think they're fine. But I don't think they're these gangbuster numbers. The fact that, again, WWE is only doing 2.4 on Netflix, and that's global, and that's the only way to watch the show. I can't imagine AEW on Max, which is, I don't think global, because I think Triller is they're international, and there's other ways to watch the show, namely on cable. I don't think the numbers are that great, and I think and I think wrestling numbers, not just AEW, WWE as well. I think wrestling numbers have always been a little inflated with things, and they've always been inflated because it does well in the demo, and it's first run programming, and it does well against the competition, unless the competition is major like political news or actual sports, because a baseball, a basketball, a football game are always going to do better than wrestling. So I think that they do well against the competition for sure, but because we've never really seen, at least recently, we haven't seen growth in the numbers. Anytime there's growth, it's like, okay, oh, CM Punk returned. Oh, AJ Lee returned. Oh, this thing happened. But then what happens a week or two later? It's back to where it was. We haven't seen big growth as far as ticket sales unless it's a pay-per-view. Again, ticket sales are down week to week. And then the pay-per-view numbers are what they are. You get YouTube numbers. Those are good. I think that's more of a measurable than anything nowadays is like YouTube and social media. But that doesn't, indicate who is. I don't know how that stuff is tracked. If you watch like 5 seconds of a video, does that count as a view? And AEW YouTube numbers, honestly, they're not good. I used to track that stuff for Dynamite ratings. I mean, I still do. And most of their videos would get over like 100,000 and stuff. And then they'd get some that were like 500,000. A lot of their videos barely break 100,000 nowadays. Yeah. Like they just don't do a ton of YouTube numbers. So yeah, wrestling has always been fake popular. That's what we're getting at. Wrestling's dying, but SP3 and I will live forever.
We're here for you. And yeah, when you bring up the YouTube numbers, people ask why Adam Copeland gets as much TV time as he does. Check those YouTube numbers. He's usually at the top. Same with Moxley. Especially Moxley when he was world champion. He always had the top viewed YouTube video for AEW.
This is not true at all, by the way. WWE would have better ratings if they didn't give all highlights immediately on their YouTube channel. They stopped doing that for when the ratings started to go down, because I've been covering this sport for a long time in very much the same manner that I still cover it nowadays. And when the ratings started to go down, they stopped posting stuff on YouTube immediately. They waited until the next day or after the show to do it. And they did this for months. The ratings didn't go back up. The ratings were still the same. And they realized that, posting stuff on YouTube actually has no bearing on these ratings or anything. Like, that has nothing to do with it. I don't think AEW YouTube numbers are down because they just started showing highlights. They've been doing the same thing.
Yeah.
They've been doing. Like, I think AEW YouTube isn't great. Like, I think they kind of bungled things early with some of their titles and stuff, like their video titles. But they put full matches up, or they used to, and they've always done these highlights.
They haven't. They've been consistent as far as like putting up old pay-per-view matches, and that lately.
Yeah,
like,
they're putting up more. They just put up the coffin match between Darby and Moxley, and that match happened 2 weeks ago. So, but they've always had that in CASP. Like they've always had just like these highlight sort of videos, and then they sometimes do full segments on everything. I don't think that has any bearing on anything. Like, again, it's just I don't think it's as popular as we would like to believe it is. It's not dying or anything. Let's be honest. It's not going anywhere. They still got all these billion-dollar TV deals and everything. But I also just don't think there's a rhyme or reason for why the numbers are down, outside of people might be consuming it differently. On social media, the highlights get posted immediately. WWE does a great job of that. AEW does a great job of that. They post those videos immediately. So I do think people consume it through social media and maybe don't watch the full shows. I wouldn't read too much into all the YouTube numbers and all the social media numbers, and like it's a conglomeration of all of those things of how popular or not popular it is. I think ticket prices are the biggest thing. Ticket prices as far as maybe not even ticket prices, but ticket sales is one of the biggest indicators, because that's paying customer. That's, can you get people in the building? And that's where you see numbers are down. That's where you see WWE numbers are down. That's where you see AEW numbers are down. That, to me, is the indicator that things are down right now. And they might swing back up, but ticket sales are the indicator to me, because that's who is paying for this, not who is just watching a clip on social media.
And that's always long been the indicator in the pro wrestling world. Pro wrestling started off as a ticket sale company, as a ticket sale business, and now it's transitioned into a cable and media rights business. But still, if you want an indication of where the business is heading, ticket sales is the best kind of metric to it all.
Well, wrestling is now dying because this new Nielsen rating system has killed it. R.I.P. professional wrestling. Yeah, SP3 is in the Don Callis family. 100% is. He's in multiple groups.
I'm the equipment manager.
Okay, you're the water boy.
I'm a water boy.
Yeah.
Equipment manager. It's proper.
All right. Anything else we need to touch on?
I think that is all. I think someone mentioned we didn't mention the Roman and Bronson segment from last night. It was a match. It was a segment to set up an Australian street fight because the WWE can't have street fights without titles to it. And then they brawled. There's not much to talk about there. Sorry, guys.
That was so funny when Heyman's like, this man, he got this banned in Australia. He can't do any of this Australian
street fight. I was like, what the hell? I was like, you gassed this. I was like, is it Australian stretcher match or something? He's like, street fight. It's like,
that's a street fight.
We do have a super chat.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, there better be some kangaroos in this Australian street fight. That's all I'm asking for. Kangaroos, boomerangs, that's the stuff I need. Bloomin' onions, that's what we need in this Australian street fight. 10 Ruza did send a super chat. Santos going to debut tonight on Dynamo. We talked about that in depth earlier. It would not surprise me. I'm not going to get my hopes up that it's going to happen. It would not surprise me. Not at all.
I'm going to say no.
No?
I'm going to say no. Be on the safe side.
Yeah, the Jaguars did win last night. That was a good game. That was a great game, honestly. Trevor Lawrence, 2 touchdowns. Can't believe he got in the end zone. In the on that last one after falling down twice. Nobody on the Chiefs can tackle. Travis Kelce, I said he would get a touchdown after his fiance sang about his dick, and I was correct. He did get a touchdown, so I hope everybody bet on that. El Tenruza finds our Aussie stuff offensive. Sorry, Tenruza.
Fair. Fair.
Like, if you want to do an American street fight with burgers and
chicken.
I don't know. Chicken.
Fried
what?
Chicken? I don't know.
Fried chicken.
That's American to me.
Beer. Yeah, well, I have a group chat that I'm part of with my friends, and I'm a Panthers fan. My buddy's also a Panthers fan. One's a Chiefs fan and one's a Bengals fan, and we're all just like, our teams all suck. We're all 2-3. Teams are just all trash at this point. So
you relate to each other. Look at that.
Yeah, guns would be in the street fight, the American street fight, 100%.
Sounds good. Sounds like a plan.
All right, SP3, let them know where they can find you at.
You can find me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. I will be live in about 30 or so minutes with Top Guy. Oh, no, I actually starting at 1:15, so like 45 minutes with Top Guy JJ over on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel for Rated Raw Review, where we'll be reviewing last night's Monday Night Raw. So if you want a more in-depth, talking about every single segment, and we don't miss anything that you found important and I didn't, like Roman Reigns last night. No, Roman Reigns is always great. He was great in the backstage segments, just not with the opening segment. But yeah, if you want to talk about all of that, join us on Rated Raw Review, where we're going to talk about it there. MCATs, we don't do TikTok time here on ITW. We have dabbled in TikTok time because Jeremy did do blind ranking before on the show.
Yes. Yeah. All right, folks. We'll be back tomorrow. Myself and Joel Pearl. We'll be reviewing NXT. We'll be reviewing AEW. I'll be in a good mood if the Avs win and a bad mood if the Avs lose. So sports are back, meaningful sports. That will dictate my mood for the next 7-8 months or so. Not until the playoffs more. The playoffs really dictate my mood. The regular season, not so much. Unless things are going horribly, then it'll dictate my mood a little bit. We'll be talking about that. We do have a guest tomorrow. He is the Hog Crown Jewel champion. He is back to remind me that we are not the same. Where's my clip? Do I not have it? Oh, that's unfortunate. I probably should have double checked that I had this clip.
You
I
should
might have
have.
deleted it. Oh shit. Oh, I did delete it. I should have deleted a lot of other stuff before I deleted that. Or somebody else deleted it. I think I did delete it, honestly. Maybe Joel deleted it. I'll just blame Joel. Let's just blame Joel for it.
Let's
Yeah.
just blame Joe. Keep it simple.
Charles Mason is back tomorrow, everybody. He famously told me we are not the same, even though we both like murder. I think he was about to murder me when that happened, but he'll be back tomorrow. We will talk about some murder, and we will hopefully not get ourselves murdered. I think we can get Charles in Ring of Hallucinations easily. Charles is right up Ring of Hallucinations alley. He'll be a good fit for there. All right, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. Charles is going to join us at 12 o'clock tomorrow, so we will be running long tomorrow. Thank you, as always, to SP3. We will see everybody tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody. Enjoy the wrestling tonight, or the hockey, or the baseball.